Hey guys, so I need to bring it down a little bit, but welcome to another video on Budget with a July Dreamer. Today's video, I wanted to share with you what I'm calling the last monthly budget for June. I don't know if that's what I want to call it because this will be the last time I am budgeting based off the calendar month, right? So from the first to the last day of the month. This is how I have been budgeting for the last 4, 5 years since I started tracking like my finances properly. But for the last 10 years, I think practically since I started living by myself. So I've been doing the first to the last day of the month, regardless of when I get paid. But it's getting a little bit complicated with the way I budget, and I think I've insinuated this in a couple of videos that I'm thinking of changing. So I have mentioned that I get paid in the middle of the month, but my bills come out the first of the month, like the first week of the month, like almost all my bills come out. But I have been looking at it, I'm like, no, let's change things up. And the only changes I've made, I'll talk about them in today's video, a couple of bills that will now be coming off also around the same time when the new budget will start. So June will be the last video that I'm sharing with you, where we'll be covering June 1st to June 30th. But in actuality, it will also cover all the way up to until July 14th. So that is exactly how I am thinking of today's video. So without further ado, let us begin. Hey guys, welcome back to Budget with a July Dreamer. My name is Miranda, and on this channel I share with you everything personal finance as well as lifestyle content in the form of vlogs. Today's video is on the personal finance side, and I will be covering the June budget. I do have my trusted notebook here, and I'm also going to be using my iPad to look over the numbers in terms of, what I am projecting to bring in and where I'm planning to send that money. I always write down my mock budget in this planner. It helps me big time just to know what I'm expecting to come out, when I'm expecting it to come out. So in this planner, I write it out on a weekly basis, so from the first to whenever the week ends. So if, let's say, the first week starts on a Sunday, as June will do, I would then track from June 1st, the first, which is the Sunday, all the way up until the next Sunday or Saturday, whichever. But I have written the mock budget down in here, and that's exactly what we're going to be covering in today's video. I am doing the budgeting portion of my reset separately because I intend to film my reset for June when I come back from vacation. So you guys will be seeing this video when I am already traveling. Today is Sunday the 25th of May. That's when I'm filming this video, and you guys should see this on the Tuesday. Hopefully I'm able to edit it and schedule it because I'm traveling this week, and then I come back just before the month ends, and I want to film the reset, so the goals and the books and the plans for the next month just before the month closes. And I don't know if I'll post that video on the 1st of June. I'm not really sure. But anyway, I have my June mock budget here, and let me see which side. I think maybe if I move my flower I can't even say flower, whichever, out of the way, and I'm gonna move to the side because then I could put here on this side of my screen a screen grab of what I'll be covering in today's video. So the screen grab will come from either my budget tracker or will come from the press reset, the ultimate World Dashboard 2.0 planner that I have used in 2024 and currently I use it in 2025, but I'm using it in conjunction with my own planners. So I mix and match. Okay, so in terms of my budget, like what I'm thinking of bringing in as a minimum for the month of June, it's 6,500. So that covers my salary, other sources of income, plus also the money that I take over from the previous month. So I always have money left over in, like, for example, this time in May to go into June, because my bills, like I say, come out the first week of June. So we need to have money because I get paid in the middle of the month. So yeah, anyway, so I'm expecting to work with 6,500. Changes that will be seen in June, and then major changes that will be seen in July, are as follows. So the main change is that the Bank of England announced interest rates drop this month, and I got the letter from my bank to tell me that they are going to bring my mortgage down a little bit. So for the month of May, my mortgage was 1,349 and 15 pence. You'll know that I prefer to round up, so I always pay 1,300 or 1,400. In this case, I paid 1,400 to round up, right? So I sent over like about 50 pounds just to make sure that this is about 1,400 pounds. So it was 1,349.15 pence, and for the month of June it's going to be 1,309 pence and £9.54. So it has gone down, I want to say, by 40 pounds, 39ish, I think, if I do quick maths, which I cannot. And then also my advanced mortgage on this house as well is impacted by this decrease in our interest rates. So instead of paying 333 and 39 pence, I'll be sending 324 and 19 pence. So a small change there. And I said we'll see this change in July as well, purely because I have remortgaged my my home, and I've gone on a 5-year fix. I have talked about my mortgage a lot in the last 7 days. So I talked about my mortgage going up by £1,000 in the last 5 years. And then I also talked about buying this home by myself and the changes that I've seen in terms of mortgages. I started with just under £700. We're in 2025 and I will now be paying just under 1,700. So that £1,000 difference is what I've discussed in previous videos. But for now, before the remortgage kicks in, because my mortgage, I was on a 2-year fix which ended last year, and we were waiting for my advanced mortgage to reach its 2-year fix as well, which is end of this month or next month. I can't really remember, but it's coming up. So July will be a different mortgage, and August will be the mortgage amount that I'll be paying for the next 5 years. Okay, so that is what we're working with here. So you won't be seeing the advanced mortgage, I want to say from July onwards. I want to say we won't be seeing the advanced mortgage in July, because I've merged them into one loan. But also the July mortgage is actually going to be almost double what I'll be paying moving forward. I mean, they pre-charge you this interest upfront, but it's often crazy. So because I knew it was gonna come out like 1st of July and I get paid in the middle of the month, I would have had to just like write everything that I have just to be able to pay that amount. So I decided that for my mortgage, starting with July, I will be paying my mortgage in the middle of the month. I think I've spoken about this in a lot of my videos. I get paid in the middle of the month. The only things that come out after I get paid is my 2 loans and my investments. So I choose to pay myself first. And for me, I pay myself first through, one, sending money towards my investments, so to my ISA, to my SIP, and then also to a couple of general investments account. And then I also pay my debts down. That's paying myself back for the future, that kind of thing. So that's me paying myself first. That's how I do it. And then I don't think I've got anything else outside my second mobile and a couple of subscriptions that come out later in the month, and then that's it. And all of my bills then starts from the first. If the first day of the month is a Monday, all my bills come out then, and boy, does the bank account look dry. Yeah, so we're changing things up, starting with, I believe, July. I will be having the mortgage come out immediately after I get paid. Well, not on the same day, but a day or so after. And then I will also continue with my investments and savings during that period, and also my debt. And then everything else I'm keeping at the beginning of the month, just to still keep me razzle-dazzled. Okay, so that is the change that we're going to see a better change in June, because the mortgage will be a little bit down. So normally I would aim to make it 1,400 even for the main mortgage. For June, I'm hoping to just make it 1,350, maybe. That's at least that's what I have in the tracker for now. And then for the advanced mortgage, I always aim to make it at 340. This time I'll see if I'll still keep it at 340, but if I do 325, that's not the end of the world either. The rest of my bills, like council tax, my combined utilities, my insurances, my main mobile, my gym my subscriptions like gym, my spa, dental, travel insurance, Netflix and Avios, nothing really changes. That the only new thing that you'll be seeing in my budget moving forward is British gas. So I finally signed up for annual boiler check because my boiler has been tripping the last couple of months. So I decided, you know what, I do it for my rental properties, why don't I do it for my property as well? So I've done that. I've signed up, and that will be costing me £23.86 every single month. But you know, I always budget up. I never budget below or the exact amount. It's rare for me to budget the exact amount, maybe only council tax, because I know exactly the amount and it never changes. So yeah, so that one will be £23.86, and I will either budget as £24 or budget £25 depending on the month. But that is for the first week. So from the 1st of June to the 8th of June, these are the bills that we'll be looking at: my mortgages and my utilities, my insurances, my main mobile, and a couple of subscriptions. Then after that, the second week, which will be the 9th to the 15th, I'm looking to pay my wellness coach, pay my therapy, pay into my LISA, a couple of subscriptions as well, like Disney Plus, Audible, Kindle Unlimited, and all of that good jazz. Then from the 16th to the 22nd, I'm looking to pay, obviously that will be after I get paid, so I'm looking to pay pay into my investments, pay off my credit cards, well, pay the balance on the loans, I apologize, on the loans, and also the credit cards if I've got balances on them, which I do. Pay for therapy, I think I've said this, and a couple of subscriptions as well. I do have a lot of subscriptions. I think I've done a video about all the subscriptions I have. I think I may need to do an updated one. And then the week of June 23rd through to June 29th, I just have like 3-4 things for that final week. I have my second mobile, 2 subscriptions, and then my swimming. It depends, because with my swimming, like for next week, which will be June, I will be, well, next week, as in not this week starting, but the week after. This week I'm not going swimming because I'm traveling, and I normally book for the following week on the Wednesday, because that's when the slots open. So even though the slot that I'm booking for is for the next month, I'm still booking it. So sometimes it works that I have to book for the next month in advance. Sometimes I can wait until the actual month to do the swimming. But yeah, so just a couple of bills there. So about £60 worth for the final week of the month. But like I said, this budget that I'm doing now is actually going to feed into the new routine that I'll implement in July. So we'll continue with this budget. So June 30th to July 6th, we're looking to pay the same bills that I'll pay the first week of June, right? So that's the council tax, that is my insurance and the subscriptions and my mobile. And then July 7th to July 13th. July 7th is my birthday. So that week we're only looking to pay the wellness coach, my LISA, and a couple of subscriptions. And then the week after that, we then start my official July budget. And I will film a video about the new system for July. And let me just look at the calendar. So I will most likely post the July budget on Tuesday the 15th of July. So I will most likely film it the Monday morning, or most likely the Monday morning, because I want to include all the expenses for July 14th. Or I could just make it my mission not to spend anything July 14th, but it's impossible because my plum takes money out on that date. So yeah, so I'll film early morning before I start work on July 14th, the budget that will be July 15th all the way through to August 14th, and that will be how I will be doing my budgets moving forward. And also you will see in July's budget that my mortgage amount, like I said, will be almost double what I pay now, which is crazy, but that's normally the first mortgage. You pay a little bit more, and then you go on the fix that you have agreed with the mortgage lender. So that is the budget. There isn't anything new, honestly, that I'm thinking, except I am traveling. I'm traveling this week, that's starting, and I'm also traveling the first week in June. One is solo and one is with a friend, so I'm very excited about both trips. It just also means that I'll most likely overspend, so watch out for my my May budget recap, which, when would I like to post that? I think maybe that one I could film it on June 14th to close out, and then post it on June 15th. Yeah, I'll have to look at my YouTube content because I've been quite lazy for the month of May. I haven't really bothered with like a content calendar for YouTube, so yeah, we need to look into that. But that is the video, nothing else, no surprises. And I always say this in my videos, I always check, do I have any subscriptions that I may not have thought of that I need to think of? June, July, have nothing. May, June, July, there's nothing. August, I have my car MOT, which I will need to schedule next month. I think I'm gonna schedule next month for August. And then September, I do have my car insurance I pay annually. And then September or October is when my water bill comes out, and I pay that twice a year. And then I don't have any other subscriptions outside of the business subscriptions that come out until, oh no, October I have something. I have my subscriptions, so like the Viki apps that I use and stuff like that. But anyway, this is all just to tell you that I do have my trackers that I look at every single time before I make a budget, so that I know that for this month my subscription budget needs to be higher than normal. So like in March my subscription budget was about £500, whereas for June it's 150 because I don't have any big subscriptions that are due. But yeah, I've said this already I think 3 times now, but that's the video. That's the budget for June. I'm very excited for the month of June, purely because I'm going to travel with I'm gonna tell you all about it because I'm gonna vlog, okay? But anyway, I'm excited. So thank you so much for watching my video, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, then please give it thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video real soon.